Okay, this is Bushland Revival, and this episode is actually a segment that we call Now today on War on Weeds, not War on Waste, that's an AVZ special, but today on War on Weeds we'll be looking at ivy. Now ivy is quite a common house plant, and it's used in horticulture for many of the hundreds of years, especially the English ivy. I'm not talking about the Ivy's Lees Club in Sydney, which I've been to, and a lot of people sort of stand around the pool but not want to jump in the pool. Like, come on, jump in, come on, do it. I mean, have a few drinks before you can actually jump in that, but yeah. Anyway, today we'll be talking about weeds on War on Weeds, about weeds in Australia that's impacting on our environment, on our animals, on our people, and on many other factors. So today's going to be about ivy, as I just said, and ivy is a popular house plant since COVID. It's been used firstly to grow on fences, walls. You see the like nice English houses with the ivy on them, and you've got the cutouts of that, of the windows. It looks like a nice cottagey style sort of situation type deal. And but unfortunately ivy can be a big menace in Australia, so we're going to go into that. And yes, so anyway, let's get into it. So ivy is a member of the Australiaceae family, and this belongs to about 43 genera and about 1,500 species. Now, this is obviously a vine, which actually the English ivy has been confused with Irish ivy. So there's two different. Blame the English ivy, which is classed as a weed. They've actually not classed Irish ivy as a weed yet. And there are to distinguish these two species. The veining in the leaves. English ivy has very almost yellow, sort of pale green veins, where the Irish ivy tends to be more darker leaf. So the leaf is darker, and the lobes on the leaf is different, slightly different as well. So they're the difference between the two species. So a lot of time they do get lumped in. And yeah, apparently the Irish ivy is a big problem here as well. So yeah, it's a big problem, and this is why, because it is a climber and it climbs over vegetation. Now it can take over trees. It blocks out sunlight to these trees and shrubs and other different plants, and it climbs over it, blocks the sun out, and these plants can't photosynthesize. So that's basically, cutting your food and water off. And then these plants will die, slowly die, and especially trees, they'll rot out and they'll start falling over and, basically killing the whole tree. And also ivy will carpet the ground as well. So it actually decreases biodiversity by basically smothering anything that would grow up from the ground, like seedlings, native seedlings and stuff like that. It'll definitely choke them out as well. So it is a very aggressive weed, and it grows along the ground with these stolons, these aerial roots that cling on and also get into the soil as well. So they definitely here on the east coast, and definitely in Tasmania and Victoria. I think those are the main areas. We'll be surprised if it's over in Perth, but yeah, definitely those are the three main areas where it is. So Victoria, New South Wales, Tasmania, and maybe Western Australia. Could be wrong, but I'll put up a map if I'm wrong. But yeah, these are generally reasonable rainfall, so it does like moisture. And yeah, we'll definitely take over these the environment there. So one thing it does also, how it reproduces, is seed. So it actually has these berries on it, which are actually slightly poisonous. And funny enough, birds love these seeds. And what's inside these seeds, actually, if a person had them, they would unfortunately wanted to go to the toilet a lot. It's a diuretic, and so what they think is that the birds that eat these seeds, actually what will happen is they eat the seeds, they'll carry the seed somewhere else and they'll poop it out, and then that's how one of the main ways where this ivy will spread. So, and plus it stains your cars as well. If you ever experienced like the poop that comes out of birds and it sustains your car, you know. So yeah, that's a big way of how it transports. It doesn't seem like a nice plant to eat. I think humans can't eat it. So it's not really any use for it. It's basically something that we've introduced for horticulture and gardens and stuff like that. And this is, gotten out of hand. So yeah, that's why it's a major issue in these environments. So we'll cut to the video where I'm looking at the ivy in a public place, and we'll go to that little snippet of video I just took a few days ago. So yeah, we'll have a look at that. So you can see here where it's been used in the gardens, and it actually here it's been taking over stuff, and we got to keep this stuff back. You can see it growing up the tree, and eventually that will grow up the tree and take over the tree. So we're actually, this used to be up on the trunk of the tree, but now we're maintaining it and pulling it off. But yeah, ivy is a bit of a pain. I say a lot. Once you have it in like great numbers like this, it can be an issue. So yeah. Okay, so I want to say about ivy, there is poisonous. So do watch it around your cats, dogs, and also horses as well. So that's another reason why we shouldn't have this weed in our environment, because it will poison our animals, and we don't want that. Definitely not. So especially if you're keeping in a pot and you have animals at home, just make sure you don't have it around animals. If you do have it in a pot at home, or if you have it in the garden, just may remove it just for the keepsake for your animal's health. So not very good for horses and dogs and cats. So yeah. So what, you say, well, what else can I grow then other than ivy? Well, there are a few alternatives, and that is a few native ones. Herbertia scandens, which is one that it's a climber, and its common name is snake vine, and it gets these these semi-twining sort of foliage stems, so it doesn't get too aggressive, and it does grow on a trellis or on a wall, or it is a good ground cover as well. So, and it can tolerate some salt spray if you're near the coast. So it's a pretty hardy plant in that situation, especially near the sea. And we got Pandaria, which is the native jasmine vine. I think they call it Wonga Wonga vine, the original name for it. And that's another really good climber as well. It's quite a large climber. It can get big, so you need quite a large trellis for it, or a wall, or a fairly big structure. But you can prune it and stuff like that every once and twice a year to keep it in shape. But it has really nice trumpet flowers, and you can get a few different cultivars now here and there. And yeah, so you can definitely has different flowers. It also attracts a lot of insects as well, so that's another beneficial thing with Pandaria. And for number 3, we've got purple coral pea, and I've got this in my garden, Hunbergia, and it's a member of the Fabaceae family, so it's a pea, and it actually really nice vine, doesn't get too aggressive, really hardy. Once established, low maintenance, You might want to trim it back every now and again, especially in autumn. Autumn is when you trim native plants back, and it generally responds to that prune. And yeah, it can grow on trellises, walls, can be used as a ground cover as well. So, and it has these really nice mauve to pink to purple. It depends on what you get. There's cultivars out there, but it is better to get maybe one that's local to your area. They're much more hardier. But the cultivars, they're not bad, not bad at all. You can get different colors. And they generally flower in winter as well. So you get that winter color, which is great. And also bees, native bees in particular, really love it. And a lot of insects and stuff as well. They seem to like the flowers. So there's certain species of insects will only go to that, a lot of the pea flowers. So there's another one. Yeah, so winter, spring, so you get that color through that time of the year. And for some sort of low sort of maintenance alternative to like ground covers, if you are using ivy as a ground cover and you want to replace it, kidney weed, that's always good. Dichondra repens, the scientific name, and most people would know this one. It's used a lot in like going like alternative to lawns. It can't be really used for like heavy foot traffic, but it's very good for light traffic. So it's really good with shade. So you have that shady, sort of moist area where your lawn doesn't tend to grow in there. It really fills in that spot. And also you can grow in the garden as well. It's a good ground cover for the garden. And it's a nice green little kidney shaped leaf. Which is really good hardy alternative. And another ground cover is native violet, which I do have in my back lawn as well, and I've put it in my garden as well just to get that growing too. It's similar, the leaf is similar to Dichondra, but it's kind of serrated and a little bit different shade of green. But they do get these, being a violet, they're a member of the Violaceae family. So they do have these nice white, purple, yellow, I think, in the throat of the flower. And they're really good. Insects love the flowers as well, so another plus. And so yeah, native violet, really good for shade and those wet areas as well, just like the Dichondra. So you could have them both in a setting of a garden or a lawn to replace that ivy where you had it before. So yeah, there's some alternatives. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Instagram, it's down here, and follow me on that. I usually post on that. I went to Tassie recently. I posted a few things about Tassie. That was pretty cool. So check that out. Instagram's down here. And yeah, follow me and all that sort of jazz. So anyway, I hope you liked this video, and go get out there and get rid of that ivy. Thanks for watching War on Weeds, Bushland Revival.